Hey, folks, it's been a while, but we are back. We are back and in living color. It is time to start the off-season editions of Fantasy Football Fever. It is the new league year starts today, and we got three agent frenzy going on all over the NFL. It has been crazy, crazy, almost 48 hours in the league. We're going to try to break it all down for you best as we can. Of course, in case you've forgotten, because it's been a while, my name is Timothy McClellan. The guy over here is the host of the Hooked on Sports podcast, Mr. John Flynn. How you doing, sir?
How you doing, Tim? And happy new league year.
Yes, yes, same to you, sir. I feel like I guess you could say we kind of been on a vacation because we have a lot to unpack.
Mm-hmm.
And join us right here below me is our faithful and trustworthy league commissioner, Mr. John Natale.
Yeah, hey, yes. So yeah, this league year is already moving along. It's only been less than 24 hours in. We already got moves galore.
Yeah, absolutely. And also joining us over here for a little insight is one of our fantasy league members, my fellow Dallas Cowboy fan who lives in the Alamo City, as of course the one and only Adam Oliver.
Hello.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, same here.
All right. Well, as I said, folks, we have got a lot to unpack. The last 24, 36 hours have just been absolutely crazy movers and shakers, trades, uh, franchise tags in place. So I say we just go on and go ahead and get started with this whole thing right here. We will begin with the probably probably the biggest free agent news right now. Actually, a very bizarre incident. See, what happened was Las Vegas Raiders were going to trade Max Crosby to the Baltimore Ravens. However, before that took place, officially, it was found that Crosby actually failed a physical.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, that trade was null and void. So what happened instead? Well, the Ravens decided to get Trey Hendrickson, the second biggest free agent name this year, from the Cincinnati Bengals. So, Flynn, I'll start with you on this here. Now that Hendrickson is with the Ravens, what effect does that have with Crosby and the Raiders going forward?
I saw a take yesterday that this trade kind of might have accidentally made the Raiders a team that can very much compete for the playoffs this year because the Raiders made a huge array of signings because they had so much cap space with the presuming departure of Max Crosby. So they go out and sign a couple of linebackers, a couple of safeties, a couple defensive backs. They said that they signed Tyler Linderbaum, the high level center from the hang on one second. Of the Raiders of the Ravens who um is yeah of who sorry about that as I'm the conductor was getting my ticket on the train but and anyway Linderbaum going from Baltimore to Vegas to get a legit offensive lineman to block for Ashton Genty. The Raiders traded Geno Smith to the Jets. um yeah, it was so all that is in there, but then once the trade was nullified, Crosby going back to the Raiders, and It's just a whole array of things for the Raiders. Now, as it pertains to Baltimore, now I don't know if I agree or disagree on this because this looked like dirty politics from the Ravens brass so that the Ravens we're going to send those two first round picks to Vegas for for Crosby, and the reporting from Schefter today was that they were going to try and get both Crosby and Hendrickson to play on the same defensive line. So wouldn't that have been a crazy turn of events in there? But the way the Ravens had gone about this, they go through the physical, they go through things, they fail the physical. So instead of trading two first round picks for a stud edge, they got to keep get their first round picks back and then go sign Trey Hendrickson, who is one of the most impactful defensive players in the league, as Bengals fans will attest. So. There are a lot of teams that are angry towards the direction of the Ravens. So it is most certainly a big, quite a bizarre turn of events. And on a night where there were so many crazy sports headlines, that's one took the cake in the off season. So it tells you where the NFL ranks among its leagues. And tells you what the focus is on the NFL, making huge headlines even during off season.
And I'm looking right here on ESPN. Hendrickson's deal is 4 years, $112 million with $60 million fully guaranteed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's going to be interesting to see what there is. And
the thing is, I honestly think that's good value for him. Honestly,
I think so.
I mean, especially considering that Jalen Phillips got $120 million from Carolina, going from the Eagles to the Panthers. So that makes the Trey Hendrickson move look like a coup.
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like it though. The next big name I see here on the list, the Indianapolis Colts decided to re-sign quarterback Daniel Jones for a 2-year, $88 million contract with $50 million guaranteed. Now,
a massive overpay, I think.
I think slightly. I mean, yeah, we all know Daniel Jones. He had a great first part of the season last year, but of course he got injured. So, but yeah, I kind of agree. That's a little bit too pricey on that contract.
Yeah, I mean, this is the second time in 4 years where Daniel Jones is a pending free agent, and the team that had the previous year got scared into keeping him. That's because you don't want to be in the quarterback turmoil, obviously. But that's not the only thing really that didn't make sense from the Colts. That I think it was maybe more so the fact of how they handled their wide receivers. So because they had two talented wide receivers in Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce would never had more than 48 receptions in a season. Inks a 4-year, $110 million, over $110 million contract. And then the Colts decided to trade Michael Pittman Jr. to the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I did not understand any of the logic surrounding it because I love Michael Pittman Jr. I like Alec Pierce. I don't love him, but I think in terms of fantasy, I think this is great news for Alec Pierce, really, because he's getting paid to be a number one receiver, and I think he's gonna get over 120 targets next season with in Shane Steichen's offense.
So the Steelers will receive Michael Pittman Jr. and a 2026 seventh round pick, and the Colts will receive a 2026 sixth round pick. So the Steelers are given a 1 year, 3 years, $59 million.
Yeah,
That's what I see here.
I mean, so now they have DK Metcalf and Michael Pittman Jr. on the same teams, and so it's now the big question I think for the Steelers is Aaron Rodgers going to come back? I'd say for one more hurrah. This time with the guy who coached him up in Green Bay for over a decade, in Mike McCarthy.
Right. Next thing I see now, this was almost kind of expected, but as soon as the Dolphins let go of Tua Tagovailoa, he got picked up by the Atlanta Falcons on a 1 year veteran minimum.
Ugh.
So I guess it's going to be like a 1 year. I guess you could call it a 1 year tryout, and because of that, when I heard that the Falcons signed Tagovailoa, I kind of figured that something else had happened, and it did. The Falcons released Kirk Cousins.
I think it's kind of crazy to think about the Falcons, and sure, there's a completely new brass. Matt Ryan is like the president of football ops, new GM, new head coach. So, but they traded an off-injured. They released an off-injured quarterback, and they signed another off-injured quarterback. So I'm very curious to see how the Falcons defend this in press conferences because now there are only two left-handed quarterbacks on current NFL rosters, and both of those left-handed quarterbacks are on the Atlanta Falcons with Michael Penix Jr. and Tua Tagovailoa.
It says right here, Penix Jr. is still rehabbing from the torn ACL that he suffered back in November. So,
yeah. Do the Falcons? Are the Falcons really thinking that Michael Penix Jr. is going to be the Week 1 starter? Because remember my rule with ACL and with ACL tears, it takes 2 years to return to peak to normal peak performance. So, if Michael Penix Jr. is the answer, I'd love to know the question.
I don't know. Because he just got that injury back in November, and now they get two.
If Kevin Stefanski got advice on how to handle quarterbacks, he had quarterback situations. He definitely took the advice he learned from. He definitely took the Cleveland Browns strategy and brought it with him to Atlanta, and that should make the Falcons fans sick to their stomach.
Yeah, I would think so too.
Because in theory, the Falcons should be positioned to win the NFC South with the improvements they made. They had on defense. So when you have Bijan Robinson and Drake London, Kyle Pitts, who they wound up franchise tagging. This Falcons team in a weak NFC South should, in theory, be able to win 10 games and win the division. But if they keep fouling up the quarterback situation, how are we supposed to trust them?
Right.
I think Carolina got a little stronger. I really dig what New Orleans did because they they signed Travis Etienne to be the running back, meaning that they're moving on from Alvin Kamara, which I think might be time for a change at running back. So
Yeah. Well, the next name that I see here on this list of signings is Romeo Dobbs signing with the Patriots. 4 years, $68 million. So going from Green Bay to the Patriots after they let go of Stephon Diggs, they bring Dobbs in here. So maybe it'll be an improvement for the receiving corps. Maybe.
I mean, it might more so be an improvement of his fantasy value. Because like it's because like they're trying to predict the Packers receiving statistics from year to year with all the receivers that they've had with Christian Watson and Dontavian Wicks and from the tight end position Tucker Kraft, like who's going to be the number one receiver. um so I mean, I know I'm probably the one missing others as well, but it was confusing. And what I love about Dobbs and his fantasy value, that he gets an immediate upgrade at quarterback. He goes from Jordan Love to Drake May, who was number two in the MVP voting last year. So so I kind of think Dobbs is in line here to be a to be a no- to be his team's number one receiver.
Yeah, possibility. I hadn't thought about that
It's,
till you mentioned it.
it's,
So,
and I mean, Natalie, if you pull up if the Arrow has potential rosters, but you can pull up the Patriots wide receiver depth. I mean, I don't
Let me
think the
see.
wide receiver. I don't think the receiver room is great. So I think I could see some value with Romeo Dobbs.
Yeah,
Um,
let
so,
me pull that up. Say,
so
I know.
maybe could Dobbs be one of those guys that proves to be a league winner, which is I mean, we have these every year. A guy you draft in the seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th rounds of your fantasy drafts, and what winds up making a big difference for your team.
Right. Let's see. Who do I
I mean,
see? Okay, it looks like they're going to release it at the start of training camp.
all right,
Their training
yeah,
camp didn't start
platinum.
yet.
All right.
But the official one will be.
Let me see if I can pull up. Let's say the other teams here, but and also remember, this is the Patriots team that's got to somehow try and make it back-to-back Super Bowl appearances.
Right.
Um,
Oh, here we go. I got
yeah,
the depth chart now. Let's
yeah,
see. Yeah, so we got Romeo Dobbs, Kayshawn Booty,
yeah.
Matt Collins.
I do like Booty a lot, though. I think we saw something from him down the stretch of the season, and I think he could be. Let's say he could be a somewhat decent number two wide receiver.
Oh, yeah. Then you got number 3 is Mac Hollins. 4th, and then the traditional bench guys are Kyle Williams, Demario Douglas, Efton Chisholm III, Jeremiah
Yeah.
Webb, and John Giles.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of those 5 names don't really bring anything to the table.
Right.
In all honesty,
Yeah.
so I guess in that regard, you still have to make sure Hunter Henry is on your list of top 12 tight ends.
Right.
It's because Hunter Henry had a very good season last year.
Yep.
yeah. So, you see that new core of receivers over in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tampa Bay, their star receiver Mike Evans is going to be signing with the San Francisco 49ers. His
Ooh,
contract is 3 years, up to $60.4 million with $16.3 million guaranteed. So
That's
Mike
huge.
Now,
Evans,
now that was the headline I did not see coming. I mean, Mike Evans. It's going to be weird for all of us to talk about Mike Evans in a uniform other than the uniform of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mm-hmm.
So it's because his first 11 seasons, 1,000 yards or more, all with Tampa, then missed most of the season due to injuries, and now, yeah, he is out, and now effectively, Mike Evans is effectively taking the roster spot of Brandon Ayuk
Yep.
in San Francisco. Because remember, Ayuk had all those contract negotiations and too much noise and drama, with the 49ers and Ayuk, and how both sides kind of messed up on their own there. So, but yeah, I kind of think Brock Purdy is kind of a winner in this because you have a proven commodity at the wide receiver position, a veteran, of course, a future first ballot Hall of Famer. So he fits very nicely into Kyle Shanahan's offense, and now you have so your top three receivers are Mike Evans, Ricky Pearsall, and Jawan Jennings. So if the Niners are optimistic that Pearsall will have a normal offseason and Jawan Jennings will have Ricky Pearsall. I think those are the two because Jawan Jennings is a free agent right now. Um, but yeah, I think, but now I think you figured they'll figure that. So yes, so I think Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy comes away as a winner in some respect. Though I will say Brock Purdy is going to have a much more difficult schedule this year than he had last year. So we'll see how that transpires.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with offense, which is kind of banged up last year or so, especially with the defense. But somehow those 49ers were able to have a really good year last year. And now something that I definitely want to get your opinion on, guys, because we're talking about your Giants now.
Ooh.
They not only have a new tight end, they have a likely tight end. That's Isaiah Likely. They signed him after he was released by the Ravens. His contract is 3 years, up to $40 million. Well, $40 million right there. So I think Likely with the G-Man.
Yeah, it's going to be some interesting competition. He's going to be competing with Theo Johnson for the targets.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of crazy when that's like I didn't figure out couldn't figure out how bad the Giants tight end situation was until I saw Mike Clay's fantasy projections chart for it's at the start of the new league year, and how weak the Giants tight end room was. So yeah, I mean, I kind of dig this that he brings a lot of different things. He has such a good combination of athleticism and physicality that I think John Harbaugh wants in his team to try and establish a winning culture with the Giants. So,
oh yeah, I like how they got not one, not two, but three former Ravens players are now with the Giants. I'm liking this.
I mean, and the special teams, which has consistently been one of the worst in the NFL, is now all of a sudden looking like one of the best.
Yeah. I'm slightly disappointed that the Scottish Hammer is gone now, but I'm liking the look of the new punter.
Jamie Gillen was not the best punter. It was a cool story, cool nickname, but ultimately you want results, and Jordan Stout, deservedly so, that being paid, will becoming the highest paid punter
All
in
right.
the NFL by salary.
Yeah. And
Or
then finally getting
by
a competent kicker. Finally getting a competent kicker too. I like the Jason Saunders signing. That's pretty sneaky.
yeah, Jason Sanders too.
Yeah. But he's gonna be competing with Ben Souls on. So we'll see what happens there.
I mean, it would be fascinating. I mean, it's going to be fascinating either way. What happens in training camp, and also, by the way, Natalie,
Yep.
the Giants training camp this year is going to be in West Virginia.
That's an interesting. Oh, that's right. I did hear about that.
Yeah, it's because there's going to be a big hub around the stadium for the World Cup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the World Cup final, which is the last match, is going to be like a couple of days, but I think it's about a couple of days before training camps open. So
So, yeah, I'm looking at Mike Clay's list right now, and he right now has Isaiah Likely at number 15 among fantasy tight ends.
Huh, yeah, right in the middle of the pack there. Good.
Yeah, kind of
yes,
middle of the pack,
so it's probably someone with a lot of that is going to be picked towards the later stages of the draft, but it's going to come in with a lot of it's going to be like a low risk high reward type of pick when he's available. So I mean, definitely one that you might want to consider. Consider picking up when managers have other tight ends on their bye weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I guess he could be a safe pick right there.
I mean, but then again, you got to worry about what the MetLife turf can do with that as well. So.
Right. Next.
One more thought about the MetLife turf. Hopefully, they keep the natural grass that they're gonna have during the World Cup and keep it beyond the World Cup and into the NFL season. So, keep my fingers crossed on that.
Yeah, they're there. Next time I see, the Seahawks have decided to re-sign their wide receiver, Speed
Shaheed.
Yeah, I call him Speed because once he catches that ball, he'll just turn on the afterburners. He's 3 years at $51 million. So very nice, especially with the big 1-2 punch that he can make along with Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, I mean, and Shaheed became a special teams ace during the second half of the season. Of course, he started his team's playoffs with a 95-yard kickoff return to set the tone for their playoffs, that divisional round win against the 49ers. So.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Let's see here. Going down the list here. I see another big. Oh yeah, we mentioned the Saints signing running back Travis Etienne Jr. 4 years, $52 million. So Etienne, who's coming over from Jacksonville, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, first time since high school, he won't be teammates with Trevor Lawrence.
So I see ESPN rated this on a C- here.
Because I think 4 years is too much for a running back. But
I can see that. Okay, so let's talk about your former wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson. He just signed a 4-year, $78 million deal with the Tennessee Titans.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah, a little bit of a shocker for me, but I could see what I kind of sense what the Giants are doing. I kind of thought about it because I have two different draft predictions for the Giants. It kind of depends on what they're going to do. If the Giants sign another wide receiver during the free agency process, then they're going to draft a tight end. But if they don't sign another wide receiver, then they're going to draft a wide receiver.
draft a tight end? They just signed Isaiah Likely. I mean, what are you talking about here?
I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
No, I said wide receiver.
No, you said if the Giants are going to sign a wide receiver, they're going to draft a tight end.
My bad. I meant to say I misspoke.
That's why I played Principal Jim Downey on you.
Okay, I misspoke. Yeah, if the Giants do not sign another wide receiver, then they're going to draft a wide receiver. I forget the guy's name now. I gotta go to the draft board. But you're thinking of Carnell Tate? Correct. That's if the Giants do not. That's if the Giants do not go wide receiver during. That's if the Giants do not sign another wide receiver during free agency. But
I'll tell you right now, they're not drafting wide receiver in round one. Because they have other needs on defense.
Yeah, but if they do sign a wide receiver during free agency, then they're going to draft the other guy, Caleb Downs.
Yeah, which I think would be a great fit for the Giants.
Yeah, because I don't necessarily trust the three wide because right now Malik Neighbors is still rehabbing. He might not be ready for week 1. That means if that's the case, Darius Slayton is your wide receiver 1, which is kind of crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, and I guess Isaiah Hodgins. That does not scream a trio for me.
Yeah, not really something to write home about, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to see what.
But yeah, I think that they absolutely have to get another wide receiver during free agency. If they don't, then they have no choice but to go to Tate.
Perhaps. Well, anyway, the next name I see on my list. After they released Tua Tagovailoa, the Dolphins decided to take quarterback Malik Willis from the Green Bay Packers. His contract is 3 years, $67.5 million, with $45 million guaranteed. So you go from one injury-prone quarterback to maybe another one who's not as injury-prone, but I don't know. I guess there's only one way to go for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
Kind of wish Alex was here because I'd like to hear his. I'd like to hear his opinion on this one right now.
I'm good. Hang on, just give me a second, guys, because I just got home and I'll be setting up my laptop shortly.
Okay, no problem.
So, but what I will say is I think that's a fantastic signing by the Dolphins. Because I loved Malik Willis during the draft process when he was up 4 years ago. I still couldn't believe that he fell the way he did, and I think this is incredibly good value for the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's only $22 million a year, which you will gladly take in this NFL quarterback economy.
Let's see here. I see. Oh yeah. I think we mentioned either right at the beginning of the show or during our pre-show meeting. Big shocker here. This blew me. Released by the Seahawks. Kenneth Walker III is signing with the Kansas City Chiefs. It's a 3-year contract worth $43.05 million with $28.7 million guaranteed. Now,
I will say something once I change over to my laptop screen. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
That move definitely shocked me. So yeah, I think that the Chiefs are now they're a potential candidate for my playoff or no playoff segment when we visit that in the summertime. But yeah, that means now I think Isaiah Pacheco is now regulated to backup running back.
He very well just might be, and Pacheco,
and now Kareem Hunt, and that's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Because now he's a free agent.
Yeah,
Kareem Hunt was the number 2. That means Kareem Hunt is now either number 3 or he's going to get not signed.
All right. Here we go. Let's remove this. My opinion is I'm actually not surprised that Kenneth Walker left the Seahawks, because remember John Schneider's DNA is not to give the big contract to running backs. And because if you saw, if we remember the chart I told you about with the Super Bowl winning team leading rusher, and with reflection to the percent cap hit they take, no, it's not surprising to me.
Yeah, and they lost another Seahawk too. I think Tariq Woolley.
Yeah, Tyreek Woolen goes from Seattle to Philly. 1 year, 15 mil.
Huh.
Oh yeah, that's right, Gashi. I stand corrected. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Pacheco is with the Detroit Lions now.
Yeah. So now Detroit goes from Sonic and Knuckles to Sonic and Tails.
Yeah, I mean you're right about that. I mean, let me look at Detroit.
So Detroit they let go of David Montgomery, so now they have Isaiah Pacheco to join Jahmyr Gibbs in the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean Pacheco would now be projected at this point to be the RB2. But I mean, but the real thing is Jahmyr Gibbs might have a monster fantasy season next year, which kind of raises the question really about who should be the number 1 overall pick in fantasy drafts at the end of the summer. Is it Bijan Robinson of the Falcons or Jahmyr Gibbs of the Lions? I think both of them are primed for unbelievable seasons next year. So
yeah, that's a brutally tough one.
What do you guys think? I mean,
yeah,
I am personally of the opinion of Bijan Robinson because I just think he's the better all around back in the league. And didn't we not see that game against the Rams on Monday Night Football on Championship Week? How many fantasy championships he won managers throughout the league?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One name we did mention, I think before the show, Colts are re-signing their wide receiver Alec Pierce, 4 years, $116 million.
Sheesh, that's a lot of money. We discussed with that.
Well, I got a couple names from the Giants that we forgot to mention to Flynn. I'm happy with both of these signings. They re-signed Jermaine Illuminor and then Tremaine Edmonds for the middle linebacker position. That one I really like.
I mean, obviously a huge upgrade over Okereke, and so but the linebacker position was really exploited when Micah McFadden went down.
That's right. He re-signed too.
Yeah, I
So-
saw that too. So
This could be maybe this is the end for Kayvon Thibodeau. We'll see.
yeah, I mean, right now, if I were to rank the edge rooms, I would rank the Giants 1 out of 32. Because they have Brian Burns, Abdul Carter, and Kayvon Thibodeau. So I think you gotta think the Giants are gonna try and trade Kayvon Thibodeau and get some draft capital back, or move him to maybe potentially have an upgrade at receivers you were talking about, or bolstering up the linebacker or the corner too. So
Yeah. I hope they keep him for another year. I don't want to give up on him just yet. He's had his injury issues. I don't want to give up on him yet. When he's healthy, he's good.
But the thing is, you can't let him walk for nothing.
Yeah, but he's got one more year on his deal, so we'll see. He has one more year left.
I mean, it would be the same mistake the Bengals made when they didn't bring back Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah. I'm cursed every time I buy football jersey. It's always that they're gone a short time later.
I mean, I got Thibodeau and Waller 3 years ago. Waller didn't make it the following season, and Thibodeau is probably going to be an ex-Giant by the time next year rolls around. So
yeah. I still have my Thibodeau jersey.
Yeah, mine too. But
and I have a Russell Wilson jersey from the Seahawks. He's gone. And I have a James Conner jersey from the Steelers, and he's gone.
I mean,
I'm 0-3 in jerseys when they stay for a long time. Thibodeau lasted the longest.
Yeah, I mean, I saw a crazy but true stat is that there were 29 quarterbacks that were drafted in the first round in the 2010s, so the decade from 2010 to 2019. Only 3 of those quarterbacks remain with the teams they drafted. They were drafted by. And these should be easy ones: Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
And everyone else is no longer with the teams that drafted them. So tells you something, right? So let's see other offensive movement.
Let me see. See, we did that already. Let's see. Walker, we did that.
Oh, DJ Moore traded to the Bills.
Yeah.
DJ Moore to the Bills, hopefully boosting their running game. Even though I guess they're mostly known for a passing game.
Yeah.
Wonderful arm that Josh Allen has. Yeah, I noticed this here. The Green Bay Packers traded their edge rusher Rashawn Gary to the Cowboys for a 2027 fourth round draft pick. So edge rusher, yeah, we could definitely use one on the outside defensive line. I mean, yeah, I'll say okay with that, but kind of looking, I think we really need at least one corner, one safety, and maybe another inside linebacker.
I mean, so updating the receiver rooms for both the Bills and the Bears. The Bills now, their top 3 receivers are DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, and Keon Coleman, while the Bears have their top receivers now are Rome Odunze, their first round pick from 2 years ago, Luther Burden, their second round pick from last year, and then Khalif Raymond, who they got in free agency from the Lions.
Sounds like a very interesting trio for the Bears, especially that Luther Burden. I mean, he had I wouldn't say he had a flashy rookie year, but he was out there doing it, and he kind of helped the Bears beat my Cowboys last year. So yeah, I could
It's
see a upswing for him this year.
I mean, I was stressing a little bit about Luther Burden last summer when we were going through our receivers lists.
Mhm.
So with the wide receiver position special we had, and yeah, I did make a point to discuss Luther Burden. Because it feels like a pick that would make sense in Ben Johnson's offense. So, um,
Here's a name. Looks like the Dolphins have traded Minka Fitzpatrick. He's now with the Jets, and the Dolphins are going to get a 2026 seventh round draft pick.
yeah. It's kind of laughable to me about the free agent approaches by both the Jets and the Titans. Because so the Jets are bringing all these guys in. They don't have their 2027 week 1 starter on the roster. And they basically bringing all these moves because I think Aaron Glenn is under the impression that he's on the hot seat this year.
I say he might be. I don't want to make a definite statement on him being on the hot seat or not, but of course the Jets are the Jets, so you can expect anything to happen with those guys here. Let's see, what other names do I see? Okay, let's see. Do I see anything else? Trying to look for. Okay, we talked about. I think we did mention a little bit. Lions trading David Montgomery to the Texans. The Lions will get a guard, Juice Scruggs, and they'll get a 2026 fourth rounder and a 2027 seventh rounder.
Yeah.
So maybe a boost for the Texans running game out there.
Yeah, but I also mean that the that the Texans gave up Titus Howard. They're one of their better tackles in a trade with the Browns, and now you look at the Texans' offensive line, and you really need to wonder like what on earth is going on with the old line for the Texans. I mean, it's kind of crazy. I remember they traded Laramie Tunsil last year to the Commanders, and now they traded Titus Howard to the Browns, and now you're looking at an offensive line, so that kind of that has a lot of question marks all the way around. When I mean, they did bring in Braden Smith from the Colts to be their right tackle, but not really much to write home about in terms of the rest of the offensive line here when you look at it for the Houston Texans. So
Yeah, I would kind of agree on that here. Oh, let's see here. Oh, yeah, when I heard about this one, this one kind of sounded a little bit interesting. The Chiefs have traded their secondary back Trent McDuffie to the Los Angeles Rams, and in exchange, the Chiefs will get a 2026 first round pick, which would be number 29 overall. Then they'll get a fifth round pick this year, they'll get a sixth round pick this year, and they get a third round pick next year. So McDuffie to the Rams. That sounds very interesting.
yeah, and Jalen Watson also left for Kansas City to the Rams this time through free agency, and and now you look at the Rams and what with the roster they have, and I mean, it is loaded on both sides of the ball, and you kind of have to figure, in my opinion, that the Rams are gonna spend most of the offseason as the Super Bowl favorites.
Yeah,
I mean,
they
I mean, especially with the improvements they made on defense. Remember, they still have one first round pick, their own, which no, it's actually the one they got from Atlanta, the 13th pick. The 29th pick that they traded to Kansas City was their own.
right. And the Rams, with the Rams signing Jalen Watson, 3 years, $54 million. So Watson and McDuffie back together with a different team, and that should bolster the secondary from the Rams, and as you said, should be high contenders to win the AFC West division right there. And as I am looking up and down this very large list,
Yeah. I mean, we also need to mention the franchise tags that were handed out because there were 3 of them.
Yes, there were franchise tags. First one, and probably the most expected one, the Cowboys decided to put the franchise tag on their wide receiver, George Pickens. That was, yes, pretty much expected, like I said. The Atlanta Falcons, they put the franchise tag on their tight end, Kyle Pitts. And then I just came across it. It was like a few minutes ago. There was someone else who got a tag.
So that would be Breece Hall.
Breece Hall from the Jets.
Yeah, and then Daniel Jones got the transition tag, which no longer applies because he signed an extension.
Right, so yep. So only 4 tags in the NFL this year. So
yeah. I mean, so I want to go through some potential winners and losers of players who were not traded in terms of fantasy. I think some fantasy winners. I think you got to look at this will be among players who weren't moved. I'm gonna say Jacoby Brissett and Trey McBride of the Arizona Cardinals because both put up such gaudy statistics. Trey McBride had one of the best the fantasy seasons the tight end has ever had, and Jacoby Brissett, now with the release of Kyler Murray, I think he's going to be able to put up some more gaudy statistics. So. I think those 2 for the Arizona Cardinals are kind of winners in fantasy free agency.
I'll probably pick Alec Pierce as a winner. He's probably now the number 1 wideout since Pittman's gone.
I mean, I disagree with the Colts with the Colts choosing this round, but yeah, I think Alec Pierce is going to be someone who's going to be a top 20 receiver next year.
Yeah.
I also think that among players that moved, I think Kenneth Walker is a winner. Also, one more among non-movers, Emeka Egbuka becomes a big winner to me.
Yes, I am hoping for a better season for him. I think he got injured for a few games last year. Hopefully he'll be coming back, and he was a great rookie right there. I see great things for him this year. So yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, he was sensational. Before he got hurt, like he was up there on the list of best receivers in the league through the first 4 weeks of the season.
All right, yes, he was. So, Yeah, I'd go with Ed Buka for sticking around there. Trey McBride. Yeah.
Wait, I got one. I think I got one more winner. Mike Evans.
That's one of those tight ends that does very good, but he doesn't get the attention.
Hmm.
You said winner Mike Evans. I think I can agree with that.
I mean, I would say Brock Purdy is kind of a winner here, but we'll have to see. I will have to see with a much tougher schedule.
Okay. Well, just I was kind of looking at my my list as far as the Cowboys are concerned. We signed Jalen Thompson, a safety, which we need one. Signed him to a 3-year deal worth up to $36 million. We mentioned Rashawn Gary, acquired via trade by Green Bay. Safety PJ Locke, we got him for a 1-year, $5 million deal. We got Sam Williams back. He's an edge rusher. 1 year, $3 million. This one kind of had my head scratching. Cowboys signed quarterback Sam Howell to a 1-year deal. And I've got one question. Why?
What I mean is, what is he going to be there? Let me just take a look here.
You got Prescott. You got Milton.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably going to wind up being their third string quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, probably he'll be the third string behind Milton. So, and then we have this defensive tackle. Flynn, you're better at names than I do. Otito Ogbonnia. It's Otito Ogbonnia. A defensive tackle.
Otito. Okay. Let me try. Otito Ogbonnia. Ogbonnia. So.
Yeah, so the Cowboys got him for a 1-year deal worth $3 million. So, I say these are not flashy picks, but they do address some positions that the Cowboys need help with. So, I say we'll just wait and see.
Yeah. Yep. And it'll also gave you some potential candidates for fantasy losers in free agency that I think the Cardinals running back room it's because the Cardinals signed Tyler Algier to a contract, and they already have James Conner and Trey Benson. So you kind of have to think that none of those running backs are going to be surefire starters, and they'll probably have to be streamers on a week-to-week basis, depending on what the injury situations are. Jaylen Warren, it kind of feels like a loser to me, because as Kenneth Gainwell goes out, Rico Dowdle comes in. The Dowdle going for had a breakout season last year, over 1,000 yards rushing with Carolina, helped them win the division title. Now he goes to play for the Steelers. So, yeah. Yes. So those are basically like the big losers to me. So you guys have trivia questions, because I actually have 2 of them.
No, I didn't come up with anything this week.
Okay. I do happen to have one right here.
All righty.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, I told Flynn it was about like 15 to 20 minutes before our little pre-show meeting, before when I came up with this question here. very interesting how this happened. So as we probably know, Kenneth Walker III, of course, just signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Believe it or not, he is only the fourth player in NFL history to win Super Bowl MVP one year and then play for a different team the next year.
Mm. Okay, this is interesting. Okay.
Yeah, there are only three other players that have been in that situation.
Okay.
So the question is, can you name any one of the other three?
Hmm.
I'm not going to let you have to choose one. I mean, there's three other players who won Super Bowl MVP with one team and then play for another team next year. I just need to get one of the three other players.
Okay. Okay.
I
All right.
kinda figured this would be a challenge. I figured this one would be a real challenge for y'all.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
so Lynn, you said you had two.
Yeah, so I have two trivia questions, and so the first one is related to one of the stories that we had, that we discussed earlier today. So the question was, in the fantasy championship week last year, which is week 17 of the 2025 season, which wide receiver had the most fantasy points among the receivers?
You said any championship game from last season?
So week 17 of the NFL season is fantasy championship week. So who was the number one wide receiver in fantasy on fantasy championship week? And the hint is it has something related to something to do with one of the, directly or indirectly with one of the big receiver moves this offseason.
I think I have one name in mind.
Okay. And the second question I have is, so this is related to the Falcons franchise taking Kyle Pitts. So in week 15, Kyle Pitts, so this is the following stat line for Kyle Pitts in week 15 against the Buccaneers. So against the in that game against the Buccaneers, he had 11 catches for 166 yards and 3 touchdowns. So my question is, who was the last tight end to have a game in the NFL with 150 plus receiving yards and 3 receiving touchdowns or more?
That's probably an easy one.
I feel like I might have an idea on that one, but it feels a little too obvious.
My obvious answer will not be my final answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think so I wanted to figure out the Super Bowl MVP stuff, right? So that's the first question we're gonna.
Yep, first question. Kenneth Walker was Super Bowl MVP this past year. Now he's going to be playing with the Chiefs. There's been 3 other players to win Super Bowl MVP with one team and then play for a different team the next year. I need you to name any one of those 3.
Dang.
All right, so let's see. I'm thinking of. I'm trying to think of those in the last 15 years, but I feel like it's got to be more recent because you had a lot of quarterbacks win MVP in that span. Let's see.
No, I was going to say Aaron Rodgers, but I don't think it's him because I know he had one with the Packers, but I think he stayed.
Yeah. I mean, then he had probably the best season of his career the following year.
Yeah, so it's not Aaron Rodgers. I was going to say him initially, but no, it can't be him.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Did Dion Branch leave the Patriots after 04?
Ooh.
I don't know.
Well, you might be. Maybe. Let me see.
Let's see. I mean, but now a question for you, Tim. With this guy, so did this team play?
Oh, wait. I think I got it. I think I got it. Maybe.
Doesn't include players that retired that so like it's like for the example when John Elway won MVP Super Bowl MVP with Denver and he retired, we didn't retire the following year. Would that count, or do I have to?
No.
Okay, so he had to play for another team so to fit the answer to the question, right?
Right.
Okay,
But Natalia said he had an answer to something.
I think I have it. I'm not sure. I can't recall if he changed teams at one point, but no, wait, no. I think he's still with the same team. I was thinking Matthew Stafford. He came to my mind.
Stafford did not win MVP the year he won with the Rams.
Damn.
See, I'm thinking.
Could it be?
Let's see. Did Desmond Howard leave Green Bay after he won MVP?
Maybe. Yeah, so it wouldn't be. It's not. So the answer is not a quarterback. So I think it's got to be a defensive player. I feel like it has to be a defensive guy.
I mean, it's definitely not Ray Lewis. I'll tell you that right now.
Right.
Malcolm Smith, maybe.
That could be. Yeah. I think whoever was the defensive player that won after Ray Lewis. I think it would be that person.
Dexter Jackson for Tampa.
There we go. I'll go with him.
Okay, so
that's my answer. I said that the guy after Ray Lewis, that was a defensive player, so that's my answer.
So Natalia's saying Dexter Jackson, Flynn.
I'm trying to think here. Because I'm trying to go through my MVPs here. It definitely wasn't any of the Steelers MVPs. From the 70s, I mean.
Okay, I'll break it down like this. The first player to do this was 96. So it's going to be from somewhere from 96 all the way up until recently.
Okay, so I mean, it kind of makes sense now because of free agency. So that basically gives away the I think it gives away the first one.
I think I might have just did that. You can definitely remember who that was.
But the thing is, I'm supposed to interpret like, was it did he win MVP the 95 season and then sign with someone else for the 96 season because then that means Larry Brown's one of the answers.
I think it was won the Super Bowl. I think I just gave it away.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, it's because it's definitely not a quarterback.
No.
Because it's.
So I think.
Were we saying the other answers and didn't lock them in?
Well, I think Natalia locked in Dexter Jackson.
Yeah.
Flynn, who are you gonna say?
I mean, I was gonna say Dexter Jackson as well. I mean, that would be the most locked answer to me. So
Okay, well, this is actually for both of you.
I mean, well, technically, Flynn got it. Flynn got it more.
Yeah,
So
that's
Flynn said
right.
the name.
Yeah, Dexter Jackson. After the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl in 2003, he was sent over to the Arizona Cardinals.
Mm.
Flynn, you did mention Desmond Howard. He was one of them. After the Packers won in '97, he went to the Oakland Raiders.
yeah.
And then the first player to do it was Larry Brown. After he won the MVP with the Cowboys, he was sent over to the Raiders in the 96-97 season. So,
I mean, then that's why it probably made more sense when the Raiders drafted Charles Woodson because like Desmond Howard and Charles Woodson, I think both won Heisman's at Michigan.
Mm.
I think they did. Might be right on that. So now we go to Mr. Flynn's questions here.
Yes. So the fantasy related questions. So this is related to a topic, one of our topics for tonight, directly or indirectly.
Right.
So who was the number one receiver in fantasy championship week last year?
Yeah,
First
based on the clue that you gave, I have an idea of what it might be. Because I was thinking about a lot. I was thinking about several players here, like when we were talking about signings and whatnot. I saw Wendell Robinson as a possibility, but it's definitely not him.
So,
No.
I could say directly or indirectly related. So, obviously, he didn't have to move change teams.
Yeah, well, I think the clue. I think that clue you gave kind of led me to one particular player. I'm going to lock in as my answer, Alec Pierce.
So you're going with Alec Pierce. So who is Tim with?
The first thing that came to my mind was Mike Evans.
That was my second guess. I was torn between those two names, Alec Pierce and Mike Evans. That was my second guess, actually.
All right, so
I wouldn't be surprised if Tim is right.
So Mike Evans finished 27th among fantasy receivers. He had just 3 catches for 31 yards. In a game, I think they were play. It was the game they lost to Miami at week 17. Evans only had 3 catches for 31 yards. In terms of Alec Pierce, he had 5 receptions, 5 targets, 0 receptions.
Say what?
Oh.
Yeah, it's not in that game, but so the guy directly or indirectly, and remember this guy didn't have to move for this answer to be correct. So I was looking for a name that we were talking about towards the end of our discussion. Luther Burden.
What the hell?
So 8 catches for 138 yards and a touchdown, 27.8 PPR points. It was the crazy back and forth game between the Bears and the 49ers. 42.
Yeah. That was a crazy game. I will say that.
Yeah. Wendell Robinson was actually tied for 5th because remember the Giants were going up against the Raiders.
Right.
Yeah. The rest of the top 5: Chris Olave, Jamar Chase, Chris Godwin, and Christian Watson.
Mm.
Right.
So that's one. So now the second one. So Kyle Pitts had 11 catches, 166 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a game last year. And with this being brought up because Kyle Pitts was franchise tagged by the Falcons a couple of weeks ago. So the question is, who was the prior to prior to this, who is the most recent tight end to have 150 plus receiving yards and 3 touchdowns in a single game?
Wait a minute.
Well, I said
Wait a minute.
that
Oh,
my
wait.
obvious answer. I said that my obvious answer was not going to be my final answer, but
Yeah,
now
yeah,
that
yeah. I'm going back on that myself now. I think I know. There's one name I had in mind. He either had that. It was, I think it happened either week 2 or week 3. He either had week 3, week 4, something like that. He either had 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. I don't remember which. So I'm hoping it was 3. I'm saying Darren Waller.
So you're going with Darren Waller. So Tim, who
Yeah.
are you going with?
this, you know what? I'm not going to go with my obvious answer. See, the obvious answer would be Travis Kelce.
Yes.
But that's not my answer.
Right.
I'm going to go with the incredible Gronk.
So you're going with Rob Gronkowski?
Rob Gronkowski.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay, so we have interesting answers. So let's start with so Darren Waller. And you believed it was last year?
Yeah, I remember there was one game like he. I think it was either his second game back from injury or something. He either had that. He had monster day. It was either 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. I forget which. So I'm hoping it was 3.
Okay, so in terms of Darren Waller,
It must have been 2 touchdowns.
yeah, and he didn't come close to 150 yards either. So Tim, so as for Rob Gronkowski, you might add. So I will tell you right now with Gronkowski when it comes to when it comes to his career line here.
Don't tell me it was Kelce.
It was not Travis Kelce, but I will tell you that Rob Gronkowski came very, very close. Yeah, I was in a week 8 game against the Bears in 2014. Rob Gronkowski had 3 touchdown receptions, but 149 receiving yards.
Oh, God.
So you missed by. So you missed by 1 yard.
I pulled the Tennessee Titans. I was 1 yard short.
Yeah, you just pulled the 99 Titans. So the answer I was looking for, so it was a game in week 6, 1996. The team was the Denver Broncos.
What? Wait, was that Shannon Sharp?
Shannon Sharp, 113 catches, 153 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the 28-17 win against the San Diego Chargers. But Tim pulled the 99 Titans 1 yard short.
Oh my gosh!
So yeah, those are the answers to my trivia questions tonight.
Very, very nice, very nice. Well, I guess on that happy note, we'll just go ahead and close this edition of Fantasy Football Fever. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more stuff going on between now and maybe 7 days from now. So, guess we can reconvene next week.
I mean, I won't be around next Tuesday, but I think that we'll probably have more sporadic episodes between now and the draft. So, I mean, I would say like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe, because I think the real big news before the draft took place in the last couple of days. So. So let's say 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Sure.
Yeah, let me does anybody know off the top of their head the first night of the draft?
April 23rd, which is which is 6 weeks from tomorrow night.
Oh, so we got about 6 weeks. I'm gonna kind of start preparing for that along the way.
Yeah.
So we'll have that here. So yeah, we'll take a couple of weeks. We'll talk things over and
Yeah.
see how everything goes. But it like I said, it has been a crazy 48 hours in the NFL, movers and shakers. It's been a pretty interesting, and it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of days. So we just keep those waiver wires going. I'll be reading up on Adam Schefter, see what he's got, and we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, so when our next episode is, you'll be notified on your channels if you're subscribed to them. So you'll know when the next time we plan to go live.
Yeah,
My channel, Tim's channel, this show is simulcast on both of our channels.
Mm-hmm. That's
So-
right. So I guess we'll go ahead and give this show a rest. So it's been a great, interesting show, interesting move. So I guess we'll close it out right now. I guess I'll let Flynn hit the button to close this out with the big finish here. So thanks for watching, everybody. That's Sean Flynn. That's John Natale. I'm Tim McClellan. Thanks for watching, everybody. Take care of yourself. We'll see you in about a couple of weeks or so. God bless you all. And as always, be a good sport. See ya.